Hello and welcome to Recon Paint Gaming. I'm Patrick.
I'm Padre.
And today we're going to be unboxing Wave 6 of World of Tanks. We're going to get started. We're going to start out with the JagDPanzer 38T Hetzer. Ooh, I got to play this already. It's a very nice little tank there.
Oof. It's there's a couple of drawbacks to it,
Slightly. There is slightly some drawbacks to it. I'm not going to get
but
into it, but
it's there's a good reason.
exactly. All right, let me zoom out a little bit so you guys can see the whole thing. Perfect. Okay, so this is the 32-point Hetzer assault gun, attack 4 power, 1 survivability, 5 initiative, 2 mobility. How many hit points, Robert?
Uh, Three.
With 4 crew, however, and we're just going to put the Stug right there. The Stug is 38 points with 1 more survivability, and that's it. It
Yeah,
has the same amount of crew, 1 less hit point, so you're saving 6 points for another tank destroyer. This gets assault gun, but as you'll notice, there's no light flank on it, so
correct.
can't flank it.
That is correct, sir. And that's the bonus right there, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you're
Exactly.
giving me a cheaper tank. Really? Okay.
Well, it's cheaper for 1 less health. That's the rub. We're gonna
Right.
take a look at the. Ooh, they're stuck together. All right, we're gonna take a look at the innards. We get, of course, the 10.5 centimeter cannon, so you can turn that 4 into a 6.
Correct.
High explosive, though. There's a lot of people that don't like that high explosive.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but you get that. So it stays in place, right?
Yep, doesn't like to move.
Okay. You're throwing 6 dice at it.
Yep.
So let's say your first pass at the dice, you get 2 crits.
Yes.
You re-roll 4 more.
As long as they're blanks, absolutely. And there's always modifications to where you can change your hits into crits. I mean,
Correct.
we just played a Tanks League. My Stug was putting damage through left and right.
Yes, it
Consistently,
was.
I might add.
Yes, it was.
All right. We've got the Tetra TYP 103, the JagDPanzer 38T Hetzer, 2 in the movement phase. Reroll a failed repair roll when repairing an engine fire critical damage card. I could have used this during a lot of my games because engine
Yeah.
fire came up a lot, as well as busted tracks.
Yeah.
uh,
Now, that next card is going to be nice.
which one? I've got several.
The
Improved.
improved rotation mechanism.
Right? Okay, so this is a new card. It allows you to equip to only certain tanks, mediums, your light, and I believe a tank destroyer, which
Correct.
is the triangle right here. So you'll see it on the card to indicate which tank it's for. +2 during the movement phase, +1 during the shooting phase for 3 points.
It's a nice all-over card.
Yes, I like that they're introducing cards that are only equipable to certain size tanks. All right,
Yeah.
this one, classic concealment. I love it. I always like to take it. +1 in cover for 6 points. It's expensive, but on this tank that only has 1 survivability, that's a must-have.
Now you're a 2.
Now you're a 2. No, that would make you a 3 in cover because you get
Oh,
normal. Or no, that would make you a 4. I apologize because you get +1 for cover, plus another one for being a where is it? A tank destroyer, and then on top of that, you get plus another one for
yeah.
concealment. So that makes you a 4
So
defense
you're
tank.
so you're very hard to kill for, pretty cheap points.
Exactly. And if your opponent is moving, that just adds more dice to your pool. All right,
Yes.
last up, Wilhelm Lindman. Off-road driving for +2 movement phase. Preventive maintenance. When driving, this tank may modify a hit to a crit. So, oh man, I like that
So
because
it allows you
yeah,
to change one of those bad die
into a good die for
into a
defense.
good die.
For your defense dice. So you don't modify your opponent's attack dice, you modify your defense dice so then you can block maybe a crit or allow a crit to go through because you know 1 more damage might explode you because let's face it, again, 3
3.
3 hit points. I mean, so I was able to take this in our match. It held up relatively well. It did not explode right away. And let me pull up the tank here. It is an absolutely amazing model because they were able to get the the actual gun on top. Look at that detail.
And look at the exhaust manifold off of the back.
I know, pointed out to the side. That is absolutely beautiful.
So one of the biggest differences between World of Tanks and Tanks the Skirmish game was, of course, we got to build our own models.
Yeah.
And they all came with all these extra little doohickeys and greeblies and all this good stuff that you could put on to your tank. Remember the buckets, right?
Yes.
And then when World of Tanks came out, it gave you a detailed model, but it didn't have the machine guns. It didn't have the little greeblies to really personalize it. And they listened,
Yeah.
and they brought back, they're bringing back a little bit of greeblies and a little bit more detail. And I appreciate that. But what a great model. That really
Honestly,
is a great model.
I'm impressed with this model. It is relatively small compared. Let me see if I can grab a Stug real quick, because I do have my own Panzer, or my own JagDPanzer over here. Oh, where is it? I know I have one. Ah, yes, this is a Stug. So the Stug is just like a little bit bigger, a little bit chunkier. So that's where that extra survivability comes from. But it is angled armor.
Yeah.
So as you notice, like the Stug is literally just a flat piece of junk.
Yes.
There's nothing to it. It's very armored in the front. But look at that. See the angled armor? That's where that nice extra light flank it doesn't have the light flank. It gets rid of it because it hits and bounces off on the sides.
Correct.
So
Correct.
oh,
So I
excellent tank.
I have no problem with that tank, especially with the cover bonuses that you get with it.
Yeah, and because it's so cheap, it is a tank destroyer, so it can put through some good damage. I'm going to try it with just the 4 attack. I really have never done that. The 10 centimeter, I've always fallen in love with it, adding all those extra modifications to get those criticals. I don't know. Now that light tanks are out, hello, T70, it's right here. Now that the light tanks are out, I might not need to upgrade to the 10.5, or it might incentivize me to go to the 10.5, because then I'll make my 6 attack a 7 attack power.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm just giddy over all this. All right, so
And you should be.
I should.
And
be.
you should be.
Absolutely. I can't. This is it. This is light tanks now. This is what everyone's been waiting for 6 waves, and now we've got them.
Yeah.
Here's
yeah.
the.
Quite truthfully, yes.
All right. What do we got here, Robert? The T70 light tank. What do we have to start with here for
Okay.
the
Firepower.
upgrades? Oh, don't steal my codes. 3. I forgot. You guys can't see my codes.
Yeah. Got a firepower of 3. Survivability of 0. I know.
It's a light tank. It's
4.
not.
It has 4 hit points, sir. It does have 4 hit points.
So relatively healthy.
Okay. You're going to go to a 2 mobility and a 6 initiative. All for 29 points as a light tank.
Jeez, I'm going to zoom in.
5 crew members.
29 points. Look at that. That's it.
But being a light tank, it does get one really cool thing. Friendly tanks shooting at a tank within close range of this tank gain +1 firepower.
Yes. So, actual update here. There was a tournament that I was watching on stream. Thank you guys for streaming. Oh, God, I forget their name. I'm sorry. But they ran into some rules issues with the light tank. I asked on the webpage for Facebook and said, hey, do you guys have the official doc? They have the unofficial official. And one of the developers said, you know what? We're going to get something out official as soon as possible. They were delaying as much as possible, but they're like, we understand you need official rules for those TOs. So, basically, you can only stack a light tank ability once. You can't have like 6 light tanks at range 1 and get 6 more attack dice to your friendly tanks. But, doesn't matter. 1 extra attack dice is still pretty good.
But, give me a couple of Persians and let me throw a couple of T-70s, 1 on each for a wingman.
Exactly.
And just have my Pershing do bad things.
Yes, and this is deployed in October in 1941. The Construction Bureau of Gorky Automobile Plant. I love that name. Under the supervision of the N.A. Ostrov. The vehicle came into service 1942, and it was mass-produced until 1943. 8,231 of these babies were made.
Yeah, well, they were stacking them deep and selling them cheap.
Yes, they were. All right, what do we want to start with for upgrades?
Well, we're going to start with the 45 millimeter VT-42 gun. It's a 3-point, and guess what? It gives you a +1 for firepower right off the get-go. And then it gives you arrow shot, which, when attacking, you must modify a crit to a hit. But you know what? Sometimes I don't care. If I can get look, if I can get a damage into you,
with
I'm a happy camper.
With the T-70 of all things.
Right.
And that's only 3 points.
A 3-point. But now it is Soviet exclusive.
Yep, to the T-70.
We also have another Soviet exclusive, which is the M80 engine. The SU-76M, SU-122A, and the T-70.
Yeah.
Now, I want you guys to pay close attention to what I just read. The SU-76M is another tank.
Yep.
The SU-122A is another tank that we don't have currently in the garage. So chalk that one up to new tanks coming out.
Oh, we already
this
have.
This one is going to give.
Oh, I was going to say we already have a hint of Wave 7. There was already unboxing out there. We're going to try to get you those cards and those tanks as well as soon as possible.
Those are the tanks.
Oh, I know that. Come on, spoilers. But there's other tanks in the pack. There's another Sherman that's coming out because you never can have enough Shermans.
Right.
We'll get you those.
The part that gets me is, so you're already a 6, right?
Yeah.
Well, now you're going to be an 8 during the movement phase.
How about that?
And for 1 point.
Oh, that's so good.
1 point. Okay, then we're going to move on to the Commander's Vision system.
Yes.
It's a 6-point. Okay? Shooting at a tank in cover before assembling the defense die pool, roll a die. On a hit, the defending tank does not gain the in-cover bonus for the rest of this phase.
Now,
phase.
Yeah, we've talked about that. So a phase is a shooting phase, so the entire phase of shooting. So if you're all of a sudden shooting first, and if you shoot at a tank that's in cover, like unfortunately my Yog will be, it would negate its cover bonus on that shot and then all consecutive shots because you're basically spotting for all of your platoon there.
which would be the vision system.
Oh God, man, that would hurt a lot.
Our next card, which is a generic card, anybody can use this on the ally side here.
Yep.
It's called a low noise system. I call it a muffler.
Yep.
It's an equipment upgrade. It's 4 points. So when defending, before assembling a defense dice pool, roll a die. We like that, right?
Yes.
On a crit, 1 in 6 chance here, this tank gains +1 survivability.
It's pretty good.
Now, if let's see, the diamond is the
light tank, and that's it. So this is only for a light tank. Gets this extra bonus from this card.
Well, light tank. On a crit, this one gains 1 survivability. This can go on any tank. On a light tank, though, on a hit or crit, this tank gains a +1 survivability. So any other tank, you're going to get you have to hit the crit. On the light tank, you have to hit it on the hit and crit.
So 50% chance, which isn't that bad.
So for 4 points.
Last time I checked, that's still 50-50. Oh, man.
So now we have Yaroslav Abdulov. I hope I don't mean any disrespect to this.
Well, you gotta like mush it. You gotta Abdulov. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Abdulov. Yaroslav Abdulov. All right. Well, what's his abilities?
He's a driver, so
Yep.
you're going to get off-road driving +2 during the movement phase. So you could get this sucker up to 10 with just what's in here.
Exactly.
Okay. He also has preventive maintenance. When defending, this tank may modify a hit to a crit. How many times has that one crit sneaked in because you just couldn't beat it?
Yeah.
Well, we can.
So, I mean, especially on a tank that only has 4 health,
Yes.
making sure that you don't suffer a crit, and then also making sure that you suffer a crit when you need to. Like, trust me, it can save you in the long run. Like you said, though, I mean, let's just put these out here real quick. You got the T70 with the initiative 6. You get these 2 cards that add 2 to the movement phase. I mean, from my experience with light tanks, having a high movement is really good. Keeps you, down from being downrange of a lot of things. You can duck behind a building really quick, especially with your mobility. This thing's only a 2 instead of a 3 like most light tanks are.
Which I
Oh
was
no,
surprised
actually,
about.
I can't say most because there's only 4 light tanks in the game, and 2 of them move 2 or less because the Valentine.
Yeah.
But yeah, in your experience, like moving after you're light, you want to be faster than your opponent, and you definitely want to get out of the way if you know that you've gotten to a trap, or if you know that you want to get that close range, get your extra die to the rest of your platoon. So, not a bad way to go with it.
Now, show that beautiful tank.
All right, this thing, I have lots of T70s because of my Flames of War days. So we've got this. It is a nice small tank. I mean, this thing is very small.
It's it's a thumb.
It is really,
It's half a
actually,
thumb.
it is about the size of my thumb.
Okay. When these came in the mail, of course I dove right into the box and I showed it to my wife and I was like, take a look at this. And she goes, God, that's small.
It is.
And I'm like, I know, but it's so cute.
And to scale, like, yeah, no, these things are incredibly tiny compared to their counterparts. I mean, even like the Chaffee and the Crusader, like, oh, they make this thing look even smaller. And then
It's
put it next to a
smaller than the JagDPanzer.
oh yeah, and then go ahead, put it next to a Tiger tank, and then just really have a laugh. But still,
It's a Volkswagen.
as small as it is, look at all the detail, the grading. You've got the exhaust coming out the side. That looks
Yep.
great. Oh, you've got the extra, wheel, I would say, on the back.
It is a tank wheel.
Yep, you got the extra tank wheel. You've got nice little spots for like spotlights, like right here. You've got some that are up front as well. Or is that? Yeah, I think that's a light right there. Pretty sure that's a light. So you can color those in, make them light, make them bright so that you actually like, if you want to have a night fight, you can see it and stuff like that. But yeah, as small as it is, I love the immense detail on it.
They
All
did
right.
good with these models.
Yeah, they always have. All right. Now
All
we've
right, you're
got,
going to the American side now.
yes, we've got the Chaffee coming up. Oh man, I want to look at the tank, but we have to go over the cards.
I know.
Don't steal my codes. I use those codes. All right, the American M24 Chaffee with a side of cheese, light tank, 37 points. So, I mean, compared to the 29, that's a big upgrade. Even the Yog was only 32. So
Yeah.
still, I mean, it is relatively expensive for a light tank, I want to say, but still, let's see what we get. 3 mobility, 4 attack power, 7 initiative, those dang Americans and their fast tanks, and a 0 survivability, 4 hit points, 5 crew. I have no idea how they get 5 crew in the T70, let alone the Chaffee, but light tank. Other than that, you just get the light tank ability. Basically, when shooting at a tank within close range of this tank, gains +1 attack. I mean, you took it. I liked it. It is a great tank for 37 points.
Yes.
I love
Yeah.
the initiative.
The problem with light tanks, and I want to be frank with everybody.
Hmm.
This is not a design flaw. These are light tanks. These were reconnaissance tanks. These were get in front of your main battle tanks kind of tanks. These, it's like, okay, we want you to shoot up there, go 5 kilometers and tell us what's up there. And, you were using your speed to see what was going on. Then you turned around, you radioed back in, and you told them where they were at.
Yeah.
Of course, then if you never came back because you got blown away, they still knew where the tanks were at because where you were going.
Yeah. Did he come back? No. Okay, they have a bigger tank, basically.
Yeah. So we're going to find something there. Okay.
Exactly.
But that's what these tanks were used for.
Oh, man. All right, we're going to go over the very first upgrade here. We've got the 75 millimeter gun. Gives you 1 point, 1 base initiative. And so I don't know if we've stressed this enough or if we've talked about it. I prefer base. Everyone should, especially when it comes to 1 point, because base counts for your moving and your shooting, and also your base, obviously. So when things are like trading initiatives or comparing initiatives, base initiative increases are always better than just +2 in the shooting, +1 in the moving, stuff like that. So 1 point, 1 increase, perfect. Easy.
So you take your 37, become a 38 point tank, and you have an 8 initiative.
Exactly, and that which is, I believe, the highest base initiative that you can have for a tank. All right, so we're gonna go over with improved communications. Yes. Now, again, light tank only, +2 during the movement phase. So this guy's already at a 10. Tanks in this platoon that have a lower base initiative, which again, see, it triggers right off that base initiative increase, which is exactly what you want. This tank gains +2 during the shooting. So all of your other tanks that don't have a base initiative of 8 gain +2 during the shooting. Yeah. That's
nice.
That's teamwork. That's American. That's it.
Yep.
I for 4 points, as like, look at you have to think about it like this, like +2 during the shooting phase. That means every tank in your platoon gets +2 for 4 points. So if you have 4 tanks, 3 of them are getting +2 as long as they're lower than an 8, which is perfect. Because if you have another tank destroyer out there that's usually lower initiative, if you have I'm sorry, Americans, you don't have a heavy tank, it just wasn't in the cards. You got a Pershing, you're fine. If you have a Pershing, bam, increase it.
Now, take into consideration, if this tank gets blown away, that card gets blown away.
Okay, that is true. I mean, we'll state the obvious. That is true.
Yeah. So we've already seen this card.
Yep. Command Division Systems, you get another. I'm just going to point out, I love that they do this because I like having extra cards in my pack. I like having multiple or duplicates because if I want to take more than one light tank, guess what? I have another copy of the card. 6 points. Amazing card. All right. Next up, we'll go with Hamling Ashing. Oh, Hamlin. 12 points. This is one whopper of an ability. All right, +2 during the movement. So again, this guy's already 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 during the movement. Nobody's really going to catch you unless they're crazy. While shooting, treat this tank's movement token as 1 less when calculating its target's defense, which is Smooth Ride. A really good ability.
Gung Ho.
Yeah, basically it's Gung Ho from the tank skirmish days. So,
yep.
Man, and of course you got the 3 mobility, so it's basically you're counting it as 2 the whole game, which not bad for a light tank. All right, we've seen it. It's 1 point. Call for vengeance when this tank is destroyed. All our tanks in this platoon gain +1. So even though Robert said when this tank dies,
it's destroyed, right?
You'll lose improved communications, but don't worry. He's still helping out your platoon by saying, here, take my energy. Bam, done.
Called Dead Man Switch.
Dead Man Switch. And there you go. You get your Chaffee. Where's the model? Because this thing.
Yeah.
When I saw this one.
When I compare it to the T-70.
Oh, actually, where is the little devil? Here it is. So, size comparison. This is the difference in size between light tanks. Like, look at that.
Now put it bow and aft.
Look at it. I know. It's so tiny. And yet this thing gets to move 3. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, that 3 mobility.
Yeah.
I like having 3 mobility.
look at the level of crazy detail on this thing. All the lines, the little indents around to show
It's
you the
all there.
seams. I
It's
mean,
all there.
geez, this
And
thing is
it's
gorgeous.
primed in a nice base color, so take it out of the package, throw it on the table, or hit it with some Nuln oil, or put some decals on it, or paint it however you want, or go, Panzer und Girls all over it. Who cares?
Yeah, that is going to be probably my next paint scheme is Gerlund Panzer. I have to paint my Lee tank. I already
Yeah,
painted it. I need to buy another one so I can paint it pink.
yeah. Good solid model.
But yeah.
Very good solid model.
Oh, that
But
is.
there's
I
one
think
left, Patrick.
those are tank treads right there. Extra tank treads on the side.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm still looking at this thing because you've even got the nice latches. You got the cannon out the front. Oh, it's even like a ballpoint. Or I'm sorry. I'm trying to zoom in here. It's even a ball because it swirls around like that, so it can't. Like they even got that shape right. Oh man, this thing is so cool looking. All right, I'm gonna stop gawking at it. Last,
The Crusader.
but not least, certainly not least.
Okay.
All right.
Another light tank. It is the Crusader. It's
Yes.
37 points.
Hold on, let me get out the card since you're already flapping about it. All right.
It is a 37-point tank. Same cost as the American
Mm-hmm.
with 4 firepower. Okay, we've matched.
Yep.
0 survivability. Okay, we've matched. It has 3 mobility. Okay, we've matched the American. The initiative is 7. Oh wait, we matched.
Yep.
Oh wait,
This is
M24. It's got 4 hit points. This has 5.
Yeah.
Now here's the difference. A, you get arrow shot right off the get go.
Yeah.
Okay.
That changes
And
your
B,
attack die from a hit or from a crit to a hit.
okay. And immediately remember, this only has 3 crew slots.
So does that make it more efficient than the American tank, or?
Not necessarily.
I think that's what they did. They're like, we need to armor this up. Well, nobody can sit in the damn thing. You only need 3 guys anyways. You're fine.
You're only going to be giving out hits on this, which, like I say, is not necessarily a bad thing. Okay, but let's go to the cards. All right, off the get-go, we're going to go with the OQF 3-inch howitzer Mark 1. It is a gun. It goes on the Crusader. That's what it says, Crusader. And this is a UK only. Negative 4 points cost.
So that makes it 33.
And it loses arrow shot, so crits now count.
Yeah, only crits count.
However, it's a high explosive, which means that you discard all of your crits before assessing damage.
Ugh.
So
that's
now you've gone down to a 33-point tank.
I think that's the big debate. Do you want a recon tank that is more like the Crusader, good amount of health? It's got the same amount of initiative. It's not going to have as much attack power. It's going to be a little bit cheaper, so you can put a little more upgrades on it. Maybe start swapping initiatives with other tanks.
Get a better, bigger gun on a different tank. Remember,
exactly. So
it's all about conservation of your energy.
Yeah. Are you going to try to take the Chaffee, make it a light tank that can get close, do a little bit of damage, and help your tanks boost their attack? Or do you want a full recon tank that can just be outfitted, kind of not as an attack tank, just pure, get down there, get me a shot?
Okay, so now here's another very important card.
Yep. What do we got?
It is also a UK only.
Oh.
It's 2 points. It's a WS number 19 Mark III Radium. Now, here's where it gets important.
Yeah.
Cromwell, Crusader. Oh, we know those tanks.
Yep.
Churchill 7. Oh, we know that tank. Valentine, we know that tank. Ooh,
Sexton 2.
A Sexton 2. This 2-point card with this radio is going to give you a +1 initiative. But now we have to start thinking about the Sexton 2. When is that coming?
Never
8?
Never heard of it. No.
Yeah, never heard of them.
Yeah, because was that in Wave 7?
No.
So maybe a Wave 8 tank. Absolutely. All right.
Okay, so we go back now. Card we've seen earlier today already. 4 points, low noise system. It's a muffler. Okay, we
It
don't
is.
really need to dive deep into that.
No.
Okay, improved communications. Have we seen this card before?
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
Still a great card.
Yeah, so +2 in the movement phase, and tanks of this platoon, they get a give me. Okay, Farley Cornell. He's a driver. He's a crazy driver because you could tell. He's 12 points, Patrick.
Yes, he is.
He's a dozen points. He is UK specific. He's going to get off-road driving. So you're going to get +2 during the movement phase. You're also going to get smooth ride. So you did a 3? Well, no, I did a 2. It's gung ho, but for the English.
I'm just gonna do this real quick. Are these guys like cousins or something? Hamlin and
Gee.
Farley.
Yeah. And look at that. They're 12 points.
They both went to the same boot camp, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, well, the Russians will have one too. It just is.
It is what it is.
And then we go to that tank, and I love. They didn't have a lot of stuff on their tanks. They tied a lot
No.
of stuff down, that they could steal and everything like that. But when I compare that to the T-70,
Okay, well, we're gonna do another. We're gonna just. Oh, jeez. Poor
size
T70.
matters is all I'm saying.
We've just been belittling this thing the entire time.
No, because it is belittled.
Look, but I mean that is something to consider, ladies and gentlemen. Like, because if all of a sudden I'm on the table like this is a light tank. Let's say I have something bigger. Hold on, let me grab my Pershing tiger. Oh no, I have an actual tiger tank here. Hold on, let's grab a tiger tank. How easy is it to hide that tank? You pop out here, you go, oh, no, hold on, let me duck behind my little tiger tank. Now you have to shoot my tiger tank and block my line of sight. So
this light tank is pretty much the size of almost of a medium tank.
Yes, this is a girthy one.
Okay, and what I really like about this is it has 3 speed.
Yes.
So it's going to go and get, once again, great modeling. If you look at the toe rings at the front of the tank.
The front, yep, right here.
Okay. If you look at the toe rings, you can actually see through them. They're not one solid piece.
No, yeah, look at that. Holy cow.
Yeah. So, I mean, I looked at that and I was like, great injection mold job on that.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
This is just fantastic.
I wish I had an original to compare it to.
Yeah, Gale Force 9, good job.
Yeah,
Period,
absolutely.
Exclamation point. I don't have any tanks that I hate per se. I have tanks that I'm trying to find uses for.
Yeah.
And I'm mixed reserve with the light tanks right now because I don't know if I want to put them into my heavier set or if I want to try and use one as like a wingman per se, where I could get that boost of the extra firepower to them. It's going to take some practice and some list building.
Yeah.
Which, thankfully, I love the fact that I can, put my commander card down on the table and I can go through my binder and look at tanks and take a sheet of paper out and figure out what I want to do.
You just start putting stuff down. You start adding up the points.
Yeah, it's is it as techy as the computerized list builders? No, but I feel that for my style of gameplay and list creativity, I do better tactily by being able to move a card off or move a card on in front of me and to see what I'm doing that way. So I really appreciate the fact that this game is still it's very simple, but it's also very complex.
All right, what do you think the best tank of this pack is?
Crusader.
You go Crusader.
Crusader.
Oh, I'm gonna have to incline to agree. I have to, only because of the 5 hit points. I love that. I could care less about arrow shot. My light tank is not going to be killing anything unless it's by pure chance and luck. And I, I'm
Now
sorry.
ask me what my second favorite tank is.
Is it going to be the Chaffee?
Nope,
Because it's the same tank. Which one?
it's the Hetzer.
The Hetzer. Yes. It's going to be something. I'm going to see what it can do. I'm going to try it without the 10.5 and see what I can get out of it. Because I've been using the Stug for so long. Now I've got the Og. I have not really fell in love with this SU-100, even though it does have 6 attack power. But yeah, cheaper to give my other tanks more upgrades. 100%. I can definitely agree. All right, now which is the best looking out of the pack?
Oh,
You want me to
the
go
Hetzer
first?
one again. The
Oh,
Hetzer.
I'm going Chaffee. Chaffee, 100%. Like the amount of detail on that thing, like it looks ridiculous. I love the gun on top of the Yog. I love the fact that you pointed out that the eye hooks have holes right in them. But
Yep.
I'm sorry, this thing looks mean for a light tank. I love it.
Yeah. A close second on my good-looking tank is the T70.
The T70 really with the Wii guy right here.
Yep. He's very clean and very detailed.
Yeah, he is. For such a small tank, because again, I have like 6 of them over here. It looks relatively the same to its little brother in here. I can move that over. Just a different shade or a different color because I've primed a different color. But it even looks like maybe this one, the details press out just a little bit more. Like that, they're the same details, but this one, like you said, a press mold. It looks like they went a little bit deeper, or maybe the molds are just newer, so it looks a little bit more detailed than the original.
Definitely could be that.
Exactly.
I know that with plastic models, if the brand new models are always crisp, and
Yep.
then the models that are in the later production runs not as crisp. That's why they have to retool their stuff every once in a while.
Absolutely. All right, so that's going to call it for here. We are going to be, creating another Tanks League. We're going to be increasing our invitations to almost anyone who's going to join. We're going to make specific rules for it to where basically you can just play anyone at any time, either whether it's live or in TTS, and just record your games, and we keep track of score and who can possibly win. Other than that, love the light tanks. Super excited to introduce them to our crew and see what they can build or make it into a list and include it and what upgrades they're going to throw on them. But anything else, Robert?
I got nothing. I
Awesome.
literally have nothing to add. You know, uh, I just think get them on the table and start playing them, and start coming up with your different strategies and your and using whatever tactics that you think you can use with them.
Absolutely. All right. This is Recon Paint Gaming reminding you to play casual.
And see ya.
Later.